Hello everyone, welcome to Desert Succulent. Today we're gonna be featuring a hybrid of Echeveria Runyonii, and it goes by the common name of Lucita, and sometimes it's also called as the chalk rose Echeveria. Itong succulent na to is considered as a fast grower, and it will be forming a rosette of silvery gray to pinkish white na leaves. They usually grow up to 4 inches or 10 centimeters tall, and that goes the same with its diameter. Yung kanilang leaves would be about 3.2 inches or 8 centimeters long and about 1.6 inches or 4 centimeters wide. Yung kanilang leaves are also coated with a coating na tinatawag nating farina that now gives yung ating succulent yung parang matte na look. Once it reaches maturity, you would be expecting na yung kanyang flowers would be in the color of bright orange and yellow. Since this one is a hybrid of our Echeveria Runyonii, kamukha niya nga yung ating Echeveria Runyonii na topsy-turvy. The very first thing that you would notice is the color ng kanyang leaves. Both of them have this parang silvery white na color. Both of them are also coated with farina, except that yung shape ng kanilang leaves are totally different. I think from these kind of comparison, you could easily tell kung sino nga ba si Lucita and si topsy-turvy. Itong ating Lucita is one of those succulents na napakadaling alagaan as long as we will be providing nga yung kanyang basic na care needs. And una nga dyan is yung kanyang light requirements. This kind of succulent requires at least 6 hours of sunlight every day. Full sunlight is preferred for us to achieve this kind of compact looking na rosettes. The problem kasi if it's not receiving sufficient sunlight is that it would ethiollate and hindi siya masyadong magandang tingnan once na naging leggy na yung kanyang stem. You also need to consider na if you wanted to introduce it to the full sun, you have to do it gradually for us to avoid yung ating sunburns. We have to be careful to never let yung water seep in the rosette ng ating Lucita as it can cause yung ating rot or fungal diseases that would eventually kill yung ating plant. But if your succulent is nakalagay sa ating rain or shine area like I do, and we cannot really avoid na mag-collect nga yung water dito sa kanyang pinaka-rosette, but you can actually remove it by simply using yung ating blowers, or just to be safe, you can just water yung kanilang pinaka-soil directly. Ang pinaka-best water na pwede nyong gamitin is yung ating rainwater, but syempre if it's not readily available, you can always make use of the tap water. Yung ating mga Lucita are also not choosy kung saang soil mix sila nakalagay. As long as it's well draining, they can easily thrive like what we have here. Napakadami niya ng offsets. And for today, I decided to repot it since na-outgrow niya na nga yung kanyang container. This is just yung ating reuse na cup noodles, and it's about time for us to give it or transfer it sa kanyang pinaka-pot. And I have prepared a loam soil for our Lucita today. This is a combination of our garden soil, some cocoa peat, ipanang bigas, vermicompost, and some animal manure. I'm using yung ating cow manure as well. You can add some minerals like yung ating mga pumice stones if you wish. Since napakadami niya ng offsets, we are now expecting na itong ating Lucita is already root bound, kaya we can easily transfer it until dito sa pinakababang part. Those white lines that you can see are actually the roots. This one are the new roots. Ayan o, bagong tubo lang yung mga yan. You can always inspect yung condition ng inyong succulent before repotting them. We can always remove itong ating mga dried leaves na ito. Syempre, we will just take advantage of grooming nga itong ating succulent na before natin siya i-repot, kahit papano is natanggal na natin itong mga dried leaves and old leaves. It's also one way for us to check if there are some mealybugs or any pest infestations going on dito sa pinakababa. So far, okay naman itong ating Lucita. It's just that very crowded na siya. Napakadami niya ng offsets and they don't know exactly where to grow. Kaya we need to remove din itong ating mga dry leaves to provide spaces para sa ating mga new offsets. For hard to reach areas, you can make use of these tweezers para mas mabilis natin silang matanggal. Repotting would be easy and simple if we're gonna be doing this kind of way. Ilalagay lang natin siya dito in the middle. And after that one, we can just simply backfill itong ating mga empty spaces with our loam soil. I prefer yung ganitong way of repotting yung ating mga succulents kasi nga there is a low risk na mamatay or masira yung ating mga succulents. Sometimes kasi if we're gonna be removing completely yung kanilang pinaka old soil and we will be air drying them or trimming their roots, there are chances na baka hindi mag-survive yung ating succulent. Ilabog lang natin to ng konti. I'm trying to loosen up yung mga soil dito sa gilid para kahit papano it could blend in dito nga sa ating new or fresh na soil mix. After repotting, we can simply put it doon sa ating area kung saan talaga siya located since we didn't change yung kanyang pinaka-soil. If you have changed yung soil, then you have to put them in a bright shaded area. Propagating this kind of succulent is very simple, and if you are someone who is lazy na mag-propagate through leaves or through stem cuttings, then this would be a perfect succulent for you kasi nga napakabilis niyang mag-produce ng offset. So this is our mother na succulent, and around here sa kanyang pinakababa, we have a lot of offsets. We even have those clumps na nasa pinakababa na these are just new offsets din na tumutubo. Some are bigger and some are still trying to grow. We have to take advantage on how fast it can grow yung kanyang offsets, kaya the best way of propagating this is not through their leaves but through stem cuttings. Like for example this one, we can just simply cut it. Ayan, you have a choice if you wanted to air dry this for a couple of days, or if you don't want to air dry this and your soil is dry, you can just simply put it there. Itutusok nyo lang siyang ganyan dyan, and that's it. You just have to wait na magkaroon nga siya ng roots. I also have here another propagation before this one is also a cutting from this. Isang cutting lang din siya before like this one, but here, look at this. Napakadami niya na ding offsets dito sa pinakababa. I think we have 5 or 6 offsets na tumutubo dyan. Lastly, we also need to check our succulents for any signs of fungal attacks or infections. Like for example here, there are like some black na parts already, and we have to treat this one right away para hindi niya na mahawaan yung other leaves and the entire plant. Kasi if hahayaan natin ito and we won't be treating it with a fungicide, then the tendency is that it would slowly kill itong ating succulent, and much worse, it could also affect yung ating mga nearby or surrounding na succulents kung saan siya located. We are using yung ating Torogi Blue na broad spectrum fungicide, something na we've been using for several months and years na din. And that's all for our Echeveria Lucita. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You may also visit our Facebook page at Desert Succulent PH.